Mixing colors is second nature for young Suleiman ABDULRAHMAN. But after painting for years, it was only when Sudan's revolution began in December that he started feeling like a real artist, and that every stroke of the brush now gives him the chance to show his talent as well as feel like a part of the revolution by spreading its messages.
People have become close to art since the revolution and they've started paying more attention to it. So this is to show the Sudanese art, to bring it out. Sudan's visual art has been oppressed. People from the field were not known. There was a clampdown on art for 30 years. Now we want to bring that out.
Since anti-government protests started last December over the rising costs of bread and fuel, artwork has appeared on walls in Sudan's capital. Many told then President Omar al-Bashir his time was up. And so it was, his 30-year rule brought to an end by the military after a long-running sit-in, where every wall was covered with colors that reflected the demands of the protesters and their hopes for Sudan's future. Art has become a symbol of defiance for many Sudanese here in Khartoum. These walls were painted by pro-democracy protesters in April, but whitewashed by the military following the killing of dozens of protesters 2 months later. Within a few weeks, new paintings appeared, and that's not the only form of art that's thriving. Poems and music was strictly regulated during Bashir's rule, with anyone deemed to write anything viewed even as remotely critical to the government, harassed or arrested. Now, poets and musicians say they feel no fear.
Poetry played a big role in the revolution. Most of the slogans chanted during protests came from poets who wrote to fuel the revolution and motivate the protesters. It empowered people and continues to.
The songs that I used to sing at parties were turned down by radio stations, and there were other artists who faced the same thing. I'm happy that such a day has come where we can express our ideas through our music, not like the past, where I'd have to be careful about what I write in the song.
The revolution was spearheaded by the Sudanese Professionals Association, which includes artists. Some of their work was destroyed during the political turmoil, but they say their new work should be preserved for future generations.
People will carry the messages of those drawings and other arts, but what we wish is that these arts are now preserved for future generations so that they know about the history and the role these arts have played in the revolution and the lives sacrificed for it to succeed.
Sudan's revolution provided space for Suleiman and many other artists to unleash their creativity, giving him freedom which he says he'll guard with every color he paints. Hiba, Al Jazeera, Khartoum.